The Suicide Squad is back with different members this time around, and we follow this band of anti-heroes as they are dropped off on an island in order to neutralize a threat to the world. So as much as I don't want to bash the first Suicide Squad, I kind of have to, because that shit had me a little worried to see this one because of how bad it was. Everything about that movie was disorienting, from the story and inconsistent tone to the hazy action sequences. It felt like a film that tried to get by simply by showing Harley Quinn and Will Smith do shit over every popular Rolling Stones song ever made. I have to bring all of this up to say that The Suicide Squad is effectively redeemed after seeing this film. This film was worlds better than the predecessor, and honestly I'd say it's one of DC's finest. A lot of credit could be attributed to the writer and director James Gunn. He knows his way around superhero movies, as he's also directed two of the MCU's best films, in Guardians of the Galaxy 1 and 2. Nevertheless, he knows how to tell a good story and extract the most out of the characters within that story. Now, there is no Superman or Batman in this movie, and unless you're familiar with DC and the comic books, you may have never even heard of some of these characters before, but Gunn easily makes them enjoyable to watch here. For those who are familiar, he manages to stay true to their personalities and abilities, making it even more impressive. The story was well written for the most part, and I liked how it doesn't take long to get right into the action. Another thing I liked was that this film didn't take itself too seriously either. It was funny and very self-aware, and I think that allows the audience to relate and enjoy the characters even more. The first Suicide Squad failed to do this, and as a result, things felt a little stiff at times because it just couldn't quite figure out if it wanted to be serious or if it wanted to be funny, and the whole thing just kind of felt really inconsistent tonally. The action sequences in this movie were also great, and I feel like each hero got to showcase their abilities, which was nice. But I'd be lying if I said Peacemaker, Ratcatcher 2, and Bloodsport didn't steal the show. And they all do their job to help carry the story. Now, I'm not spoiling anything here, but there is a sequence about 1/3 into the movie with Bloodsport and Peacemaker that was simply one of the best choreographed action sequences I've seen this year. Ratcatcher, however, leads probably the most cinematically beautiful moment in the film, however, as weird as that is to say. It truly showcases everything great about this movie, including the theme. It successfully garners genuine emotions the first Suicide Squad failed to produce. Harley Quinn, we haven't forgot about her, also has a couple of standout moments as well, and every one of the scenes mentioned greatly benefits from the R rating, as none of the characters or moments in the movie felt compromised. I think the rating also allowed for some great CG and practical effects as well, because there are some pretty good violent moments where, some gore or something like that is displayed, and it all looks good. Another thing I can't fail to mention in this is the music. I thought the music was way more fitting in this film, as it blends original songs along with an original score that's really beautiful in certain moments. It didn't necessarily overpower or distract from the scene on screen, and I also appreciated that. Now, while I did appreciate a lot about this movie, I couldn't go as far as to say it's without flaws. It does have some plot holes, and the blatant exposition is probably the worst part of this movie by far, regardless how fun the scenes are. And while I know the main villain or conflict in the film is an actual comic book character, I couldn't help but feel like it was the second weakest aspect of the movie. And unfortunately, it does dampen the ending a bit, since that's what we're primarily dealing with for the last 20 minutes or so of the film. The film is also over 2 hours long, and some plot points could have been a bit more focused, but this is more so a nitpick, as the runtime doesn't ruin the film in this case. So as you can see, this film isn't perfect by any means, as there are things that could have been executed a little bit better. Now, with that being said, I had a lot of fun with this, and there were way more positives than there were negatives. The whole film was just tightly knit from a story and acting perspective, also to the sound design and cinematography. There was a lot of detail that went into crafting this, and for a superhero or comic book film, the film aspect often gets lost in translation. As long as superheroes are doing superhero shit, that's all that really matters to a lot of these films. The Suicide Squad does allow their heroes to do cool shit, but not at the expense of great filmmaking. I think this may be DC's most complete film to date, and for that I can confidently say the movie is a high-end solid. So I don't know, guys. I didn't think I would like this movie as much as I did. For those of you who did like it, what was your favorite part? If you didn't like it, what do you think could have been better? I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Also, if you liked this review, please stick around as more will be on the way. This is only the beginning, so don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you can follow along. As always, thanks for watching. You guys be safe out there, and I'll see you soon.